So good evening, everybody. Hopefully you're all having a wonderful end to the weekend. And hopefully tomorrow we're going to have some Aubameyang news. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Come on, Arsenal. Let's get this announced. It's the week that Arsenal come back to Premier League action. The Premier League is back on Saturday. I can't wait. Genuinely can't wait. We're playing Fulham away, first game of the season. I will be doing a live watch along for that. With Guna Eagle Eye. His link is in the description, along with my Instagram. Thank you to everyone who's been going over and following that recently. Make sure you go and check it out, follow it. Let's boost that up. Nearly 45,000 of you subscribe to this channel. Let's get some of you over to the gram as well. But we're going to start off talking about Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, there's been an update in the last half an hour. Journalists that report on Spanish football teams, a lot of South American journalists as well as Spanish ones, have been tweeting out and posting articles that Arsenal know that Atletico Madrid are desperate for the release clause. They need the money. And anybody who doesn't know, I did mention this ages ago when we were in lockdown, they furloughed their staff, or the Spanish equivalent. They furloughed their staff. Now, when they do a deal, the government look into all the facts, the figures, etc., and take some of the money back. Now, they're absolutely desperate to get the full release clause for Thomas Partey because they've already lined up Mark Roja for 20 million euros as the replacement. Now, they can't actively go and buy him until they sell Thomas Partey, apparently. So we're in a bit of a standoff at the moment because we're saying, yeah, cool. We're not giving you the money. We want you. We're not paying the release clause. And in the hope that maybe we can get him for less than the release clause, which I think is kind of a dangerous game because let's be real here. We've seen this with Thomas Lemar before with the reported 90-odd million pound bid on deadline day. And he was like, well, where you been for 3 months? You came in for me, then you left me hanging. And now I'm about to play a French international game on deadline day. Sorry, mate. And he ended up staying before then making a move in the following window to Atletico Madrid. Now, we're playing a real dangerous game because if that is true and them stories that are going around are certified and legit, then it could get to the point where that happens again. You know, they know that we're desperate to sign Thomas Partey. We know that they're desperate for the full release clause, the 50 million euros, because like I said, they want to go and spend it on Mark Roja. But where does this end? Does it mean that we have to get our usual annual spanking up at Anfield before we go, actually, maybe we should hit the release clause? Because let's not forget, we are playing Liverpool away in the 4th game of the season. The transfer window is still open after that game. It closes about, I think, a week or so after that Liverpool at Anfield game. So are we genuinely not going to pay the release clause in the hope we can get it a bit cheaper? I don't know. And if that is the case, then wow, we're not moving like a big football club. I understand you want to save a few quid. Cool, that's great. But if the good is outweighing the bad, then surely you have to pay the money. And the good, by getting this guy signed up, outweighs the bad of not having him signed up and us getting ploughed through in midfield every single week. So there we go. Like I said, if them stories are true, and there is a lot of journalists reporting it, we shall see. We shall see. Let's move on to another one. It seems like we talk about this guy nearly every day. But Aouar. Aouar is currently self-isolating, quarantining, because he's got COVID, apparently. But again, I spoke about him the other day and I said that there was a story doing the rounds that we don't want to go and pay the release clause for Thomas Partey because it worsen our hand, basically, in negotiations for this guy, because we want to try and get this guy as cheap as we possibly can. They want 60 million euros. We don't want to pay 60 million euros. That's how we roll at Arsenal. We want to get him a little bit cheaper than that. But we have gone in with a bid, apparently, that's been doing the rounds for the last couple of hours, that we bid 31.2 million plus Guendouzi. Not sure how true that is, but if it is true, they didn't want Guendouzi and they rejected the bid. £31 million plus that player. If it is that player, firstly, he ain't a £30 million footballer. He's probably a little bit less than that, I'd imagine, Guendouzi. which means that it's under their valuation. 31 million plus say 20 million, yeah, probably about right in terms of the 60 million euro bracket. But let's be real, we had Villarreal apparently sniffing around Guendouzi last week for 16 million euros. So how much is Guendouzi worth? Leave it in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on that. But one thing's for sure, we're running out of time. And if we don't end up getting either of these two players, then we're in big, big trouble in midfield all season. Because that midfield is the same midfield that finished 8th last season. Yes, in one-off games, it looks fantastic every now and again. Your bread and butter's the league. 38 games shows where you are and how good you are as a football club and a football team. And we sadly weren't good enough last season. But apparently, like I said, the bid was rejected. And we're going back to the drawing board on that. One more player I want to speak about real quick. This guy, Dua Lipa, is linked with a move to Leverkusen. They have obviously sold Kai Havertz. That's picking up a bit of traction again. PSG, I think the sporting director of PSG has come out and said that they definitely want a right back. Hopefully, Dua Lipa is the right back that they're looking for. She's a fantastic singer. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Absolutely class. And I'm sure she'd do very well in Paris. The glitz and the glamour and all of that one. But they have to meet the valuation from Arsenal, and that is 35 million quid. Are we going to get 35 million quid? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure she's worth that, if I'm honest. But we shall see. Anyway, listen, leave it all in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on the Thomas Partey story. Do you think that we're actually going to get him? Because this has just been a roller coaster, like up and down, up and down. It's like going to Thorpe Park for the day. Seriously, it's getting boring, man. Just sign the player. Let's get on with it. Let's move on. Because if we don't sign these players quick, firstly, they're going to have to quarantine anyway if they're not back in full training at their football clubs. And secondly, if they do have to do that, and the longer we leave that going on, we're not going to see these players until nearly November. Yeah, come on, man. Let's get it done. I want to see some proper footballers. Let me know if you think Hector Bellerin is going to end up at Leverkusen or PSG. Let me know whether you think we're going to get Houssem Aouar as well. I will be back about lunchtime tomorrow. Don't forget, hit a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and follow the Instagram, League Under 82. I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.